What's going on, family? Peace, light, and love. Thank you for connecting with me yet again. Shakesha's on the scene. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I had to go ahead and break out that summer solstice groove. I'm already feeling that solstice energy. It's getting closer, it's getting closer, it's getting closer, and I can feel it intensifying. And then I'm getting so many downloads right about now. It's going bananas right now. I got to tell y'all that it's out of control. And I'm feeling real good about that. So, what's going on anyway? Anyway, enough about me. Shout out to the Soul family, man. I'm telling y'all, we had such a gangster ass conversation that went down on the Serious Cipher. If you don't know, we are on Clubhouse, and I'm telling you something. This is giving us an opportunity to really connect with a whole bunch of other like-minded souls. And this particular conversation, it was one in due time. Potentially, it would have gotten deleted like the last conversation that was similar to that conversation, where we talked about that particular response to that particular situation in 2020. And you know how that shit goes, where everybody wants to act all weird and funny, like you know like ain't nobody supposed to side eye this shit. And I just don't appreciate the way that this whole situation was handled. But like I said, at the end of the day, we will be seeing how that shit plays out at the end of the day. We dove a lot deeper in this particular discussion, because when we got into that conversation of that thing, that's what I call it. Watch out, man. Last week that fox came through, and this is definitely a sign and a symbol letting us know that we really need to be paying attention. Now, this was before, or was that before? We got that information on, or before I got that information, and anybody else, if they did, they didn't bring it to the table on that whole situation about that potential UFO sighting, y'all. I don't know what's going on with that shit, but what? What? 10 feet tall, y'all, 10 feet tall. And then I know a lot of folks out here, y'all spiritual gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wouldn't have been shook by that, but I do believe it definitely it definitely would have shook me. And then recently, in a lot of my quiet time, I'm not even gonna get into all of the downloads and everything, because then I'll take up entirely too much time. But one thing that came through was the snake. And that snake came through. It was rising up out of water. And my interpretation of that snake rising up out of water is all about emotional transformation. And this is a lot of work that I've been doing, especially with that moon action I've been on and all of that. Like, the moon has just been my jam lately. And I'm definitely, and I will definitely call myself on that. I'm definitely one of those people. I'll get all caught up on one subject, get fixated, hyper fixated on it. And then once I'm through with it, I just move the hell on. And people, well, what was that you was on that time? Oh yeah, I done moved on from that shit. I do it like that. But that's the mark of the creative, they say. So whatever. But let me look in my guide just to see what that snake was talking, just to make sure, because I always use my intuitive capabilities to assist me in getting my message. For me, because that message came to me. So for me, mine was about emotional transformation. That moon was definitely something that I've been dealing with. It's definitely been something that has been speaking to me. And it's been near and dear in my heart, because I have been on my own path of emotional transformation. Like, you know, it don't take a lot to piss me off a lot of times, you know, and it's not coming from a place of hate. I was going to say of true anger, but you know what? I guess I don't know what the fuck. I wish that I could really word what that is. It seems as if I care so much, it pisses me off. And one of the true ways to show that I don't really, at the end of the day, give a shit is noting that I'm not emotionally moved by it. And it's not to say that there's no love at the end of the day, because I always want to go back and clean that up. Like, of course, I love you at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. You understand? So that's where I'm at on that. But anyway, so that snake coming through was all about transformation. And that's one of the things for me is about that emotional well-being and everything. And the way that the vibe has been rolling on this planet, we got so many people that's been just like in these really low vibratory spaces and shit, right? And you know, this work dealing with that moon, knowing where your moon sign is, and really doing the work around that. And that shit's not really easy because we like to imagine ourselves someone that is not the person. I think this is why this is called the work, because we don't want to imagine ourselves as the person that's embarrassed by this, that's afraid of that, that's easily moved and triggered by that and the other. You know, we don't want to be that person, right? So it's really hard for us to deal with, and our ego will step in like, oh no, it ain't really like that. I ain't that person, that ain't me. And you know, we do that shit, and you know, that's what it is. Okay, so I got the snake. It was about my transformation. Maybe this snake, because I like to share. Let me tell you where you at with that. You're about to go through some significant personal changes that'll be so intense and dramatic that an old self will metaphorically die as your new self emerges. All right, now, transformation now. And you'll feel a surge of energy that'll sharpen your senses, alert your mental faculties, and open up new channels of awareness. You're about to resolve a long-standing issue, one that has required a great deal of your attention, by seeing things in a new light. Like I said, whatever. You know what? I'm going to stop doing that shit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna stop doing that shit. Like, yeah, okay. So that was just like a little head check for me to let spirit know, no, Shakesha, you know that because when you get that message and it come to you and you finna share it, that's what that is. But you know, I just got to do that because you know, in my nature. But anyway, shout out to the soul family that participated in that discussion on the cipher. We did not get to record that, and it was probably for the best because we went in so deeply. But this was a conversation we needed to have. This conversation, and I started noticing too, I'm listening on YouTube, it seems like they're starting to be a little bit more permissive of having this discussion, because there's a lot of shit that's going on that we need to be examining. And it's not about trying to bring about this sense of fear and disrupting everybody's peace and all of that shit, because you know we don't want to rock the boat, right? We don't want to upset folks because we just can't handle no frustration in these streets. We gonna have to put our big boy, big girl panties on in this particular situation, because right now we in a time is going down. It's going down. And we definitely want to pay attention. But let's talk about what's going on in these cosmic streets. Today is an Aries moon. And if I don't say nothing else about this Aries moon, I will encourage slowing down. Because we see too that also with that Aries moon, we get this in, we get into this space, right? We get into this space where things start happening, things start being thrown at us one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? And we want to be efficient in that process. Sometimes we may need to sit with it for a little bit before we take action. But when that moon is in Aries, the urge, that's the word I'm looking for, the urge to act quickly is heightened. And so sometimes you want to get out there and you want to solve problems and rush like you on a timeline and shit. Like, you know, like somebody told you, you got to give me an answer in 10 minutes. You got to give it to me right now. That's what we'll tell ourselves in our mind up under this moon. But I want to encourage us all, calm down. If you got some time to sit with it, I will encourage you to do so. And then that way, any choices or any calls you got to make is coming from a clear and focused space. I know sometimes it feels urgent. I'm just saying it feels urgent. Oh, and today is the 13th, the Divine Feminine Energy Day. So this is really an awesome day for us to really be able to connect in such creative and gangster ass ways. This is a day for us to really even be able to solve a lot of conflicts and a lot of issues that's going on around us. And I know with this Aries moon energy, you like, what? But if we really respect this Aries moon energy, right? Because this is also one that have us moving quicker than usual. This is a time for us to take initiatives and trying to clean up some of that stuff. This is a good day for making something like that happen. I like that energy. I like that a lot. And make sure we don't get into no power struggles as well, you know, because, you know, overall, this is an 8-day. And so, you know what I'm saying? But this is definitely a day for us to really show up in a way that will allow us to really be of assistance to other folks, right? Really be a blessing to other people, right? I like that number 13 because, see, that number 13 is so damn magical. It lets me know when I see number 13 that this is when you can make magic happen. That magic when once you, if you believe in yourself, if you tap into your creativity and your confidence and you bring that shit together, you step into your power, woof, you can move mountains. The number 13. So shout out to anybody born on the number 13 day. My mama was a number 13 energy, and boy, if she decided she was doing something, I promise you it was done. Let me tell y'all about some dope shit though. If y'all don't know about this, if you ain't hip, for the 5.5 people that may not be, that's hearing what I'm talking, y'all got to cop Miss Blue's spiritual H2O elevation meditation. This is the most gangster ass shower meditation ever. Oh my goodness. And then it just opens up the door for so many damn possibilities, right? This is an energetic reset for this energy right now. What it does is it clears out old stagnant energy and it helps in resetting the auric field. And it helps us to release all of the bullshit that holds us back. And I promise you, you can really feel this taking effect. And whether you get that shit or not, it's gangster. It's gangster. It's gangster. And how I knew that is because I'm like, wow, I'm feeling a little different. I'm not really sure what's happening. And, downloads started coming in and started really showing me what was going on out here in these spiritual cosmic streets, y'all. Shit. But y'all gonna have to go on down there to Planet Remix, invest in yourself. I forgot there's a link somewhere when you go to her little thing and everything. I clicked on the link. That's what I did. But you got to get you some of that shit. If that's available, cop that shit, because it is some definite dope shit to get. And then I found me some soap at the dollar store. Hold up. This cinnamon swirl. So now I done finished up my round of this and everything. Like, I got this here. This is there's a lot of magic at that dollar store, man. A lot of magic. Like, they got the candles that they look like 7-day candles, but they only burn for about 3. But they still get that work done. They are very effective. I have been rocking with them candles, and I'm telling you, you dress them, you hook them up, all of that is going down at the dollar store. Dollar store got a lot of herbs that you can use for your magical purposes, and you ain't paying nothing but $1 for them. The dollar store got them. And what you do, especially because I know that there's a lot of folks that's like, well, them herbs ain't organic and take out the potency and all of that other stuff. See, we done changed the game up in this era where you can lay that in your hands. If you believe in that goddess power, then you stop that bullshitting ass talk about it ain't this and it ain't that, and you make that, especially if you got that I am in your I am energy, right? Stop that conversation about you don't understand. Now, if you need that to be that way, then go ahead and do that shit. But like I said, it's always the motherfuckers with no abracadabra trying to tell you what to do with your shit. So whatever. Anyway, see, this is what I'm talking about my emotional transformation being under review. Right there. There it is, right there. All right. But yeah, it's some dope shit to get. There's dope shit at the dollar store. I found this cinnamon swirl with cinnamon leaf and clove bud oils within the soap. This right here is going to help to set that auric field for wealth in a powerful way. Now, hold up, because I got this from the dollar store and everything. I will let y'all know next week, because I'm kind of highly sensitive to a lot of products, right? So if it don't work out, I will check in and say, he had me itching, so I had to make a version of my own, and I'm already got the contingency plan. But what a clever little idea right here is to make this. Now, I don't know if the intention was to help to build the wealth auric fields, but I'm here to tell you something. This dollar cinnamon swirl soap, that's exactly what it's finna do for me. I ordained it, and now I'm gonna charge that up on the altar, and shit, it's gonna do what it do. Let's talk about what's going on right now. Did you know that our transformation is under review? Now, it's been that way for quite some time, but I don't know, because Spirit left it in my heart. It's imperative that I talks about this right now. So what I'm talking about here is this energy of transformation that we've seen in the cosmos. The energy of transformation is linked to the planet Pluto. And the planet Pluto is all about transformation, rebirth, death, regenerative forces, the unconscious. It's linked to Scorpio. Pluto is a planet that got 5 moons around it, and the wisdom that those moons tell you is all about recognizing that this is about making moves, taking action, traveling, and it's also to let you know about what needs to happen, all of the options you got available. the mentality, the mindset, the discipline that you need to set in order for that shit to go down. Connected to that Hierophant card, which is all about law and liberty and obedience and disobedience as well. But when that energy comes about, this is all about being able to appreciate the wide variety of life and being in tune with our values. This is also the energy that we look into of that abuse of power. How you use your power. Because in your process, you hold the keys. That's the wisdom that Pluto brings you about that transformation and death. It's been in retrograde since May the 1st. Since May the 1st, my bad. It started off in retrograde on May the 1st when it went into Aquarius. That Pluto retrograde, now I'm gonna tell you something. I remember when we was back and it was in Capricorn. Where's that now? But we gonna talk about that later. And I kept saying, it's game time. Absolutely it is, man. It's definitely game time. And that wisdom that's in there letting us know that we really need to pay attention about how we deal with our power. Because, Pluto reveals the aspects of life where we feel most powerless at. It helps us to transform that shit. And this is happening not only on a personal level, because Pluto is a generational planet. So best believe, baby, it's happening on a global level. Let's talk about this shit. See, when I'm talking about, we under review, I'm talking about this retrograde thing. If you ain't hip, retrograde is a review period. And I know everybody heard about this notorious Mercury retrograde and when shit's falling apart. And it's really a really golden opportunity to review our communication and how we've been doing that. Communication is so gangster. I'm here to tell you, this is key. Like, if you ain't got that, you really ain't shit. You need that. But anyway, retrogrades give an appearance of moving backwards when you're looking at it like on the ellipticals with the solar models, the models where they're showing the planets when they revolve in each other. They give an appearance of moving backwards, but this is an illusion because the energy, it slows down. Actually, is what's happening. It slows down, and that's what's giving us an opportunity for review. And this is what can be very beneficial because it's time for us to be clear on our direction. And this is a true love shot from the divine. For real, for real. But then we're going to talk about Aquarius because when it first started going into retrograde, it was in Aquarius. And Pluto in Aquarius, because I want us to be clear on what this transformation being under review is about. See, Aquarius, when Pluto was in this position of Aquarius, not too long ago, because it's just shifted, Aquarius opened the door to the age of Aquarius. This is about technology and social policy and economic policy and all of that shit being affected. And we have never experienced this energy at all in our lifetime. Not in this particular lifetime. See, I don't think we even I remember I've been talking about reparations for the longest, trying to get everybody, please, somebody light a candle. Everybody look at me in case you lost your fucking mind. What in the hell? Ain't nobody light no candle. Niggas ain't getting reparation. But I'm here to tell you, watch what it do. Technology, social policy, economic policy, all of this is affected. See, the age of Aquarius is giving us an upgrade potentially on all of that. We have never experienced this in our lifetimes. We have never. And Pluto in Capricorn goes back to when the Declaration of Independence was signed. So sip on that for a little bit. We get an opportunity to truly review just how this energy shows up in our society. We get to look at this system that we had of racism, white supremacy, inequality, and injustice to our technological advancements. We get an opportunity to see if we like what this is like. We like this? We satisfied with this living? Or do we clean this shit up and truly allow our knowledge and our technology to serve us in a way that is beneficial for everyone's highest and greatest good? What are some things on a personal level that we can look at on how we've been operating on a social, economic, or a technological level? I'm just thinking, I'm just scanning my life, whatever. Because the Aquarius energy, let me tell y'all, because this is real special. It's on the other end of Leo. Yeah. Leo energy is the regal, sometimes prideful and dramatic, but that leadership energy nevertheless, bringing the energy of the creative humanitarian ruler. Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus, which is the planet of innovation, change, and evolution. 27 moons around Uranus, which goes down into the number 9, which for me, how I see it, it's about, attainment and completion and really making it happen. Those moons under Aquarius, it really encourages us to use integrity and wisdom, to begin trusting our intuition and taking those lessons that life brings us to make the adjustments and navigating our lives a little bit smarter. Taking a long time to be reflective, letting it really be beneficial, but also being balanced enough to recognize that, being social can also be helpful and lift us up because we need those connections. That's what the wisdom of the moon of Uranus brings, letting us know how to navigate that Aquarian energy. Yeah. So now Capricorn, we right back in this, right? So we got a chance to review all of that, aliens showing up all in dude's backyard, He made it on CNN and Fox too. Slow down. But now we back in Capricorn. And Capricorn energy is all about discipline, prudence, structure, hard work. This is a very protective energy, down to earth energy. Rely, you can count on a Capricorn in these streets. Opposite of Cancer, which reminds us to check in on our values, how we feel about situations. See, Capricorn Cancer is mama, papa energy, right? Cancer's the moon, Capricorn, Saturn. When we get that energy that's brought together, that masculine, feminine energy, this other end, I like checking in with Capricorn energy, it being on that axis with Cancer, really puts that hard work into perspective. It reminds us to check in with our values. It reminds us to think about how we feel about situations and how we nurture ourselves and how we address situations when we get into some madness, how we navigating the vicissitudes and whatnot, right? Keeping us grounded in all of that hard work, all of that ass busting, all of that we do, keeping us grounded in what that's all about. And it also on a global level, because we doing this, also talks about the old structure and how we've been doing that, which is under review right now. So yeah, so again, I just want to remind y'all, like, Saturn is that Papa energy, all about structure, authority figures, responsibilities, and commitments, right? That Papa energy, it comes through. The moon wisdom, it got 82 moons, right? And it guides us to gather up our creativity and confidence and be empowered to do great things for the collective. We talking about strength, wisdom, intuition, and alignment. You put them together, this is how you navigate that Capricorn energy. This is the key to our transformation. And right now, our transformation is under review. Are you ready to step into your power? Let's get it, y'all. I know I'm ready. I don't know. I know I am. I know I am. So we look to Pluto to reveal the aspects of our lives where we feel most powerless. Pluto. What needs to change? Then we review it, considering the changes, the evolution that we're getting to. Or we may upset some folks. That's Uranus energy right there. We may shake it up. But you're going to need to use integrity and wisdom in order to navigate that. Because this is where emotional intelligence comes in. Because when we deal with our perceived limitations and find the structure and the discipline to make our transformation more beneficial, this when we start shifting into the winner's seat. So let me stop for just a second, because I had gotten a message from the goddess Sekhmet. Back when I went home, and I was going to sit on that channel and save it for when, I linked up with the family at the cipher and everything, and forgot. But Spirit laid it on my heart to deliver that today. So the goddess Sekhmet comes through with this message that we must grow through what we go through. We face obstacles and challenges. We face obstacles and challenges and start thinking that this was brought on as a sign to let go and move on. Possibly. When challenges become overwhelming, burdensome, discouraging, maybe we should look for other options, alternatives, or new ways. We feel like the time that we went through it was wasted. Absolutely not. Because this was an opportunity for growth. and expansion by knowing what we want, what we don't want, and knowing what works and what doesn't work. There's no G card without a struggle. The change is in the challenge. It lets us know what needs to happen to make the appropriate adjustment. And when we grow through what we go through, we gain clarity and greater understanding and can discern the difference between a challenge to change course and a challenge to change us. But we gotta go through it so we can grow. Be encouraged. Ooh, that was the goddess segment. I had to take a second right there, y'all. I had to take a second right there to make sure I was in a space. All right. So let me wrap this up because I didn't want to be here for long. In conclusion, really appreciate the variety that life has during your transformation. Be in tune with how you really feel, and please do not forget that you hold the power. Take the wheel and free yourself for the better. And be that creative ruler that Pluto is assisting us in becoming. Peace and light. Peace and love. Follow me.